Welcome back to another trade recap and a mid-week update. Hopefully you guys are doing well. The markets continue to rally towards all-time highs. The S&P 500, the Nasdaq, basically everything is getting bought up here. So hopefully you guys have been trading well. I haven't done one of these in a while for you guys. I have been busy with quite a few things. So hopefully I can get back to the regular schedule program here fairly soon. But I wanted to come on, show you guys my P&L for this month so far, go over some higher time frame setups and what we can expect moving forward. If you guys aren't joining the pre-market preps, I do them every single day at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you want daily updates, make sure to check out that. And of course, if you want my P&L updates, I post that on Twitter every single day as well. So as you can see here, for the month of May so far has been an absolutely fantastic month. Haven't had the trades imported for today, but $58,000, roughly around $65,000, depending on how my trailers run on this NVIDIA position. Trade win percentage, 47%, so a little bit lower than expected, but profit factor is high, day win percentage is high, and of course, my average win to loss ratio is fairly solid, just primarily based off of the couple solid trades that we had last week on NVIDIA, and we also had the AMD trade on Friday. As for this week so far, a little bit slower to start off this week. There's been a couple nice setups, but now SPY is leading markets back towards the upside. So we'll kind of talk about this here in a second. But as you can see, $48,000 last week, roughly around $10,000 this week so far. So with that being said, let's hop straight into the charts to see exactly what we're looking for. Trades I ended up taking today was NVIDIA, one of our main watches coming into market open. Went in for the pre-market high reclaim. First trade, small win, ended up scaling 50% up into that 230, but I ended up stopping out. Took this for the 84% roll and scaled up in towards our all-time highs levels. I have a Fibonacci drawn out here as well, but so far I do have a couple more trailers. Most likely going to hold this for continuation if we end up having a strong candle close. But let's go into the trades that we've taken as of recent. Starting off with today, we'll go over the pre-market game plan. So as I mentioned, the pre-market game plan coming to market open, we continue to be bullish. Really, the key levels today was fairly clear, right? As I mentioned here on the game plan, NQ and Qs need to see a hold of your Monday's highs if you want to see continuation today. So this was the key level here on the Qs, 714. NQ was our 29,450. And as you can see right here, we end up having essentially that perfect hold right off that 714, which was our key level that we talked about here in the pre-market. Really solid game plan. I mentioned pretty straightforward today. NQ, similar thesis here. If you go into the higher time frames, basically perfect hold, break and retest. Doesn't get any better than this here. Right on the NQ for continuation. ES, we had that previous day highs. Textbook hold, SPY, similar thing. Textbook, break and retest of our previous day highs for continuation towards upside. So fairly straightforward day coming into market open. There really wasn't too many names that are actually running today. NVIDIA ended up having some strength. Would have liked that previous day high retest. Showed some strength right off the bat. So we went for the pre-market high reclaim setup. Ended up taking longs as it flipped back above. Pretty tight stop on the first one. Ended up looking for continuation. As I mentioned, took that first trade as it was breaking back above. Scaled 50% up into this 233.50 and then stopped out on this candle here as it came back down. So small win, but entered in on that 84% roll. And this one ended up having a really solid push higher. What I also want to mention is since we're at all-time highs, what I'm going to use my targets, I'm going to mark out fibs. So we can draw it out from this swing low to this swing high, and we can use these as fib levels as targets. And you can see how well price is respecting these levels. Basically perfect respect on the negative 0.618 and basically scaled up all into that key area right there. As I mentioned, I am going to leave a few more trailers. So this was the trade of the day. Yesterday, tried MU for the upside. Hit high of day, wasn't able to gravitate higher. So ended up taking a loss yesterday. Monday's trades were fairly small. We actually took a couple of trades on Monday. We ended up taking NVIDIA, a 5-minute setup here above our previous day highs. Took a little bit longer, but this was a textbook previous day high setup. Looked in for that reclaim back above our previous day highs. And as you can see right here, took a little bit longer to develop, but this one was fairly solid here right off that previous day high. Stop underneath, looking for continuation towards the upside. And then last week, the big trade was on AMD. ended up taking this flag pattern. So a bunch of nice setups. Last week we had this flag pattern coming into market open, and then we end up gravitating towards the upside on this one. Went in for an aggressive entry here on AMD, right above that previous day highs. I'll probably have it in some sort of YouTube video breaking it down, but immediate break and retest above our previous day highs. Super textbook. Break underneath with continuation towards our all-time highs and above. And this one ended up having continuation the rest of the day. Another similar setup on AMD so far, right? You can see we have that 1 hour flag pattern. If you go into this, 1 hour flag pattern, nice continuation higher. Another 1 hour flag pattern forming here as well. And let's see if we can get that continued push back towards the upside. So there's plenty of decent setups here in the markets. What I kind of want to go over is some higher time frame setups to keep an eye out for in the coming days. So with the markets continue to rally towards the upside here, a couple names that look solid, right? Tesla above our 450. This one, once we break back above that 450, we have room back up and towards our all-time high. So keep an eye out on Tesla in the coming weeks. NVIDIA, this one already had a big push higher. NVIDIA 240, 250 next key levels. We are getting a pretty big extension. So I'd wait for any sort of pullback on NVIDIA to go long towards the upside. AMD, I just talked about this one, but forming this daily wedge pattern. Keep an eye out on AMD next leg towards the upside here as well. As for a bunch of the other names, MU, flat top break forming here. So we had a flat top last week, nice continuation towards the upside, forming something fairly similar coming into Friday today. Another flat top forming on MU, a break above your previous day highs, 820 is going to launch this towards the upside. So keep an eye out on MU tomorrow. Other names to keep an eye out for, Intel, I really like Intel in a good spot here. 9 EMA, down close candle, kind of have this downtrend break. Let's see if buyers can step in, more of a swing trade back towards the upside, but Intel is in a very key spot. Other names that look good, right? WDC. So whenever you have essentially these pullbacks down in towards the 9 EMA, these are good areas to keep an eye out for on the higher time frame. Good examples of this is something like Google, right? Nice pullback down in towards that 9 EMA, buyers step in, continuation. Right, so any name that is close or is pulling back down in towards that 9 EMA after having a big push towards the upside, you want to keep an eye out on those tickers. Other names to keep an eye out for, right? MBIS, this one, as you can see, nice pullbacks down in towards key areas. Of course, this had earnings, but nice continuation on this one, end up having a nice push towards the upside. So we're going to keep doing what we've already been doing in this market, which is just to go long on any major dip for continuation towards the upside. We don't have to overcomplicate it, right? Any major dip or any sort of pullback that we have, we're just going to look for continuation. Every single day, we're looking for the same thing, right? We're not trying to short this market. If you were trying to short, look at how difficult it would be. There's maybe 1 or 2 good short days in the past month and a half, and you're missing one of the best rallies that we've had since COVID, and you don't want to miss out on any opportunities, especially for short buys, right? Just trade what's in front of you until the market starts to flip or until it starts to show weak price action, right? Continue looking for longs towards the highs. Really, 750s our next target here on the Qs. On the SPY, similar thing here on the Qs, 750, right? All the semis just continue to push towards the upside. There's a lot of other setups that look good, right? TSM, nice break and retest off that 390. AVGO, another solid retest right off our key levels. So these ones look super solid, right? ARM, a lot of these ones are looking really solid, right? So whenever we have this nice extension, wait for a pullback close to that 90 MA and look for that next trade back towards the upside. So that's what we're going to continue to do, trade with the trend of the market. We're not going to overcomplicate it, and we're just going to be looking for long bias every day, as I mentioned, until it doesn't work. So yeah, with that being said, quick little market update for you guys. If you guys want more in-depth game plan on what I'm looking for each day, of course, I do that in the pre-market game plan every single morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, with that being said, I will see you guys all tomorrow. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Peace.